Welcome everyone to the Art of a Peaceful Mind. My name is Kim Root, your host, and today we have with us Tracy Samlow. She is a best-selling author and a speaker and a healer, and she is also an amazing connector of people and their hearts, energy healer, and many other things. So welcome, Tracy. How are you today?
I'm fantastic, Kim. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate being here, and this is an honor.
Thank you. So you have a special way of doing your healing that you've been teaching people. And would you like to just share about that with us first?
Yeah, absolutely. So I discovered this actually quite recently that there's this gift, and it's something that we're given these things that sometimes we don't even realize at the time, but when we have those bumps in the road, where you're down, and a friend of mine actually calls it a cosmic 2x4.
Right. That's what I said before. Right.
Yeah. My amazing friend Jennifer Huff coined that phrase, and I love it. It's true. It's like, sometimes you're going through life and you get the rug pulled out from underneath you, and you are like, oh, you have no idea what's going on. And so, I had a life experience, a couple of them, within the last few years, where it just shook me to my core, and which is actually a huge blessing when those things happen. I know when you're going through it, it doesn't feel like it, obviously, but it is really happening for us. And so when you're going through those, I didn't actually realize at the time that I was saying this phrase that really guided and helped me through all of it. Mm-hmm. And I woke up to the fact that I say it on a consistent basis and actually put it into a process. So the simple statement of it's all divine. Okay. And I realized that I was saying that it just had come to me, and that the truth is that it is all divine. Everything that's happening, the good, the bad, we put judgment to everything. We're programmed to do that for safety. It's hot, don't touch, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But we're also doing it out of, just the comfort zone, the conditionings and things. So when life hits you with that cosmic 2x4, and you're shaken, you have no idea what to do. You're, laying there in the fetal position with your thumb in your mouth because you're just, rocked to your core. It's that, dark night of the soul, or it's, whatever's just shaken you. To be able to find solace in something. And, a lot of what I have been blessed in my life to be around what I call miracle messengers is to have different tools in my toolbox, masters in, EFT, emotional freedom technique, or meditation, or, yoga, Reiki. I've studied all, certified in some. And what I found for my personal space, and has helped now quite a number of people that I've shared this with, is that when you're in that moment and you really are just, you don't have a peaceful mind, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That you take that time, that self-care, and you sit for just a moment and really go in, feel your body, feel the feelings that you're feeling, because they're there for a reason. Whether they're horrible or not, they're there for a reason. Mm-hmm. And to really feel into the trust and the faith that it is all divine. So that's a statement that even is true when something miraculous happens, something amazing happens, something just, is so beautiful in your life, and you're just, want to shout it out from the rooftop. It's the same statement, because there's really no judgment to that phrase. But it's one of those things that can balance you, take you to a peaceful state, and to really appreciate all that life has to offer, because we really are in the yin and the yang. You know, in order to really appreciate the good things that life has for us, you know, we really need the contrast and to go through all of that. But sometimes we get stuck in that energy and need just something simple. And oftentimes I've found that, you know, folks are not prepared with tools, you know, and some of them are actual practices. And so you're running through life and something happens. It's great to have just one little thing that takes, you know, just a couple minutes to do it, but it will recenter your energy. It will give you perspective. It gives you hope, because you realize that the universe has your back. You know, whatever you're going through at that moment, it might, honestly, it may suck, right? But to recognize that there's a higher purpose for it, that there's, in the long run, it's good for you. You know,
so it's the process of saying it's all divine to yourself, taking a moment and saying it's all divine, that helps you to almost go into a meditation or something with that, or to have instantaneous
it's like instantaneous. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I found. And I've actually found that with others too. It really has a centering effect to it. And I think what really comes through is that the energy of trusting and having faith is what is lacking in those moments, or the appreciation of when something wonderful happens, to say it's all divine, actually reinforces that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
So how did that come to you? Did you learn it, or did it just
came to me through the cosmic 2x4? You know, it's one of those. So my work really has been in working with and connecting what I call miracle messengers. So other speakers, authors, transformational leaders, and to helping get their gifts out into the world. And in that process, I have been blessed with being shared lots of different techniques, modalities, healing programs, healing arts. And so this was something that organically just came to me when I was, you know, in the fetal position with my thumb in my mouth. And I just kept saying it, but it wasn't anything that I necessarily heard. It was just a feeling. And then I actually had some loved ones point out, you know, the fact that I say it, and I thought, oh my goodness. So I sat there for a moment and I went into the feeling and I went into my body, and it was like a lightning bolt shot me. Then I went, oh, right. This is an amazing technique to use. It's very simple, very quick, very healing, and balances you on a level to actually get you where that peaceful mind, that feeling can be released, and gives you a sense of trust and faith, which I think is so important and so lacking when you're in that lacking sense, right? Especially. But also in the appreciation sense, you know, being grateful and having gratitude for all of the beautiful things that have in your life. And you know, so when something wonderful happens, to say, oh my gosh, this is all divine, and really appreciate what it is that's going on, is also an amazing tool to get you to that space. And it's a space that we, you know, it's there. It's that inner peace that we're looking for all of the time, and sometimes just cannot find, and especially in the dark days.
Right. So, is there, what would you say then, specifically, other than, like, how would somebody remember to do that? Would you say to take time every morning and evening just to remember that? Or was it always running through your head all the time? And like you said that your friends pointed out to you that you were always doing that, and that you didn't even realize it. And that's the place where you realized that
its power
to help you.
Right. So I've been working with people using this as a technique. And what we've found is that it is not, it's self-care, right? It's self-care. It's taking the time when you have a moment of stress, and then when you have a moment of bliss. And so putting that into a daily practice of just, even once a day when you sort of have either one of those, to sit for a moment and to feel your feelings, to get into your body and to say that. And within a matter of days, it becomes kind of an autopilot.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a mantra, right?
It's like a mantra.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more than just words, because you're going into your body and actually feeling the feelings that you are at, and then putting the trust and faith behind that all of this is for a greater purpose, for your highest good. And that trust and faith in the universe and saying that it's all divine is a statement. It's not necessarily religious. It's just a trust that, we're here for a reason. Each and every single one of us is here for a reason. And we're on a path, and this is a reality of duality. So you have the yin and the yang that we must go through. And so to have tools in our toolbox that can help us through the times that are tough, but also to help remind us on the times that are fantastic, that we're grateful. Because it's within that gratitude and that energy that we can, begin to create more of that, and to really start to balance out the weight of the really good to the really bad. And being centered within yourself. We are body, mind, and spirit. So when we come to that place where we can just take a moment, and anything that can be a tool to help us through that is kind of what I want to help people get through. This is why I work with a lot of other healers and what I call miracle messengers, is because there's different techniques and things in our toolbox that we can use at different points in our journey that will really guide and help us through whatever it is that we're going through. And a lot of that is just simply, again, self-care and self-love, is taking that time. So for just a few days, practice this. Just use it as a centering tool and a few moments of self-care, and see how you feel, see how it goes through. I would love more feedback on this, because this is a process that I have, as I said, sort of recently been working with, and I think is something where it's not, you need to take a course. You need to learn how to do something. It's super, super, super simple, but I think super powerful.
Mm-hmm. Right. So did you find as you started to do that for yourself that that the depth of it unfolded slowly, or was just suddenly you could accept everything? Not sudden, right?
Yeah, not sudden, but it's the relief. And that's actually what happened, is that I didn't even realize I was saying it, because it like I said, became autopilot. And it was a matter of that relief that came, and then that sense of gratitude. Mm-hmm. And so it was, upon saying that and sharing that with others, that I had that realization that this is something that is powerful and does not take a lot of, I don't want to say effort, but it really doesn't. It's a melting of your body, mind, and spirit for a moment, and really just appreciating everything, getting into your body, because usually when you're going through something, you're not in your body. And then to feel the feelings, and to then say it's all divine, and really trust that it's okay. Whatever it is that you're going through, no matter what it is, it has some part, some journey, something in your life, and it's kind of magical.
Yeah. So of course, trust and gratefulness are really important for healing. I notice when I remember to be grateful or say thank you, that kind of process really immediately brings a relaxation. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, our conditioning is such that, we're not, we're say thank you, but not ever to actually feel what that feeling means.
right.
Or to, everything is, superficial. We're never really taught to the whole feeling part, which is why it's important to say, okay, I'm going to take a few minutes for myself and I'm going to get into my body and I'm going to say this. And it's that aspect that is what's so powerful about it.
So when you talk about self-care, just for understanding of the listeners,
Yes.
that may mean different things to different people, what self-care is, and we forget to do that too, or feel like we don't deserve or something. So what do you mean by self-care?
So most of what we go through is a process of, we're not enough, right? Mm-hmm. We don't love ourselves fully. All we do is focus on the things that we think are flaws, our weaknesses. Our mind is constantly chattering about all of these things, and of course, thoughts are reality. So then we start to, manifest these things in our lives, and so self-care comes with self-love, and it's giving yourself the space of whether or not it's 5 minutes to do this practice and settle into your body. Or perhaps it's taking a bubble bath or reading your favorite book, or, just a few minutes every single day to give yourself the grace to be you. And there's a lot of different techniques out there that I think are phenomenal in getting you through to a space of self-love. And, a lot of those are mirror work, meditations. And so whatever you can do on a daily basis to take time for you, because this is your world and your self perspective is most of what shapes your world. And we're always worried about what everybody thinks of us, yet we are never concerned about what we think of ourselves. That's and if you spend too much time in the mirror, you're vain, and all of these other things that come up, and all of these negative feelings that bubble through that we just push under the rug, we never actually take time to say, okay, I'm important.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that's most important to do in just regular daily practice is doing that. And for some, that may be their favorite thing. They're passionate about cooking or exercise, or just, even if it's going for a walk, but doing something that you're consciously doing it for you. And getting in touch with you and bringing all of yourself together, the body, mind, and spirit, and letting go of a lot of the feelings that get bottled up inside because we don't pay any attention to them.
So for you, that process really helped you to be able to go day to day and
absolutely, and move through some things that has really shaped and defined who I am now and where I'm going in my life. And so for all of the challenges that I've had, I'm super grateful, because all of that has given me the opportunity to look inside, to reevaluate who I am, my life, what I'm doing, where I'm going, how I can help people, how I can be more of service. And so within that statement of it's all divine, I really know that everything that has happened in my life is for a greater purpose and is part of the reason that I'm here on the planet. And it's awesome.
So before you discovered this and before you went through this cosmic 2x4, did you know that you wanted to help other people or be a healer or an author or all of the things that you do?
Wow. It's funny. So I was born with the gift of being able to see,
Being able
but
to
to see. So to
see.
see energy, spirits and such. And yet I didn't have anyone like my outer world that wasn't common. So I didn't have anyone to really share that with. And um, my mom is an amazing human being, and so she was an awesome guide. But it was like I didn't have people in my life until I was quite older, actually, and it was that I was like, oh, okay, I felt like I was alone, and I didn't have a reference point for any of it, and sometimes thought I was crazy. And so if I would share it with folks, I thought that they thought that I was crazy, and I'm sure a lot of them did or do. And so I didn't really wake up necessarily to that until I don't know, maybe about a decade ago. And, I had this just innate wanting to help others, but I never knew how that was going to kind of come about. Mm-hmm. And, the universe just guides you, and it gives you those cosmic 2x4s to give you the space to do the things that you're here to do.
And right, that's what I was asking is.
Yes. So, I had little signposts in my life, right? Like this amazing human being, Deborah Poneman, came in. She's my angel. And when one of the cosmic 2x4s happened, she was the one who said, "Oh my God, yay! Now you can be you and do what you're meant to be." And I'm like, "And could you please tell me what that is?" Right? And so you have angels that come into your life at the perfect time, and it's like it's that recognition of okay, I'm on this journey. And so I've always known that I wanted to do something to be of service, but I really couldn't quite figure out what that was. And so along my journey, I've had things come up where I was I'm a writer, and so I was offered to participate in this book that I'm so blessed became #1 Amazon bestseller. And I had an opportunity to learn Reiki and Access Consciousness and yoga and all of these other modalities that literally they came to me. And I started like devouring different information as it was sort of just coming. And then all of these people, all these miracle messengers, fill in my life. And so I know I'm a connector, right? I do that by nature. It's not even anything I try. It just is. It's part of who I am. And so I'm okay, right? So you just every step, what is presenting right now? What is happening right now? And so I've just sort of followed that as my way of being, not having too many expectations of what the future looks like. Not really, because a lot of suffering comes from not accepting what is, right. Mm-hmm. I want this to be this way, and to just sort of see how it unfolds. And so for me, and with this practice and where I'm headed with my life is, I really want to have my own message that I wanted to get out into the world. But it happened organically. It wasn't anything. I just had, I put that out to the universe, that what is it that I'm going to have that's going to be able to help others. And this just literally came to me. Mm-hmm. And so I am just super grateful. And the cosmic 2x4s are blessings.
Right.
You don't feel like it at the time, but
right.
Never, ever. I mean, there's no denying that, right? But if you can have trust and faith that there's an overall reason, mm-hmm. We're not here by accident. The things that happen are really divine. I look at my life and I can, I can chart it back and say, oh, if this hadn't happened, then this wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't have met this person, or I wouldn't have been able to do this. And, it's really beautiful when you see how it's orchestrated so incredibly.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
really is.
I've heard studies on when they interview people about if, we have things that we complain about in our lives, and then, but if you were to track back and do it all over again, usually 99.9% of the time, people say that they would do it the same way again because they're themselves. So.
Yeah, it's true. I just got what I call truth bumps. They're like that body affirmation. It's totally true. We we need to actually go through those things in order to be who we're meant to be. And it's like when you're raising children, you want to tell them, oh, be careful of the pothole, not to fall into it, and to guide them as much as you can. But the truth of the matter is that they're going to really learn to be who they're here to be by making mistakes, by learning and falling in. And it's just being there to help pull them out when they need it, And so it's kind of what I feel like this it's all divine, little mantra technique tool is. It's like the hand coming up and saying, hey, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. You're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Just trust and have faith. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but when you start going back and connecting all of the dots, you'll recognize that, there is a divinity to it. There is a point. We just are not cognizant of it.
Right. So it helps you to.
It does. It helps.
Receive. Right.
To receive. It opens up that energy, right? It gives you that space to really, instead of that contracted feeling, to really accept. And acceptance is a lot of the challenge. And and to say that too, when things are miraculously happening, to take that moment and feel the gratitude, because it's that feeling that we need to actually, spend more time on. And often we don't. We're just like, oh yeah, that's great. And we go off and running, but we're not actually cognizantly, saying thank you and recognizing that too is a step in who we are and what's happening in our lives.
Right. So what you're saying is that it's that process, that few minutes of saying it's all divine, is a way not to just have it be an idea in your head, but you use it as a way to come into your body and sit with it for a moment and bring you into acceptance.
Exactly. For non-judgment. So both times, mm-hmm. when you're in the dark space or when you're in the light space, mm-hmm. the power is the same. It brings you into that centered. And really what we're doing to do is just, connect with source, connect to our higher selves. And we spend most of our days running around unconscious and not in our bodies, not connected to source. Really, we're just, in our heads mostly. And so to find that peaceful mind, this is a simple, easy tool that will help to let some of that space go and give you more space to really accept what is, because it is what it is, which really that's part of it too, is that, it's all divine, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. And so the acceptance part, but then the appreciation of, whether we judge it as bad or good, the appreciation of, and trust that it's all part of the plan.
Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for being with us today, Tracy. Mm-hmm. And we have just 1 or 2 minutes left. If you could share about your free gift.
Absolutely. So I work with, as I was saying, miracle messengers. So a lot of transformational leaders, energy healers, speakers, authors, folks that are working to help humanity in one way, shape, or form, to wake up to their true nature, to live a better life. And I really want to, because I am the connector and I want to share all of that, I have a weekly newsletter that I share with folks that has free gifts and inspirational quotes and tools and techniques and things that come, and so this is an ongoing gift, really, because it's from a lot of different modalities, different voices, different miracle messengers. So it's not just myself, it's from other folks that I know are really of integrity, or just amazing human beings that are here to help all of us. And so I love sharing those things. So it's my gift to give continuous gifts.
Right. Okay, sounds great. And we will have a link for that, but I know you're having a little issue with that right now. So what is the website?
It's just my name. So it's TracySamlow.com. TracySamlow.com.
Great.
Great.
Thank you so much. It was really nice to be with you today.
Oh, Kim, thank you very much. I'm so grateful.
Have a great night. And thank you for coming, everybody. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Awesome. It's all divine.
It's all divine.